Most guitarists don't struggle because they're not practicing enough. They struggle because nobody actually explained to them how the fretboard actually works. So they memorize scales, shapes, maybe even the key system itself, but it still feels random, disconnected even. So in this video, I'm going to show you what's really going on with the guitar. And once you see this, the fretboard will actually start to make sense everywhere. So the first thing to know is that the fretboard isn't random. It's actually one repeating system. If you take the 12 notes from the chromatic scale, those same 12 notes actually repeat all over across the neck. So the same thing actually applies with any scale that you want to play on the guitar. If you're playing C major over here, then you also have it over here, here, and even all the way up here on the neck. Because the thing is that the standard tuning system that we use on the guitar, it actually creates consistent but slightly shifted patterns on the neck. So what I mean by that, if you take a chord shape, say the C minor triad over here, it's going to be consistent if you play it horizontally on the neck, in the sense that C minor here is F minor here. It's still a minor triad over here. So you just play the same type of chord, but just by moving it, you change the root of the chord. But it's slightly shifted, because if we take that same shape, C minor over here, and we play it on a different string set, we have a completely different chord. If you roll it down one string set, so instead of playing it in the first, second, and third string, we play that same shape on the second, third, and fourth strings, then we suddenly have G major, not G minor. So that's what I mean by consistent but slightly shifted patterns on the guitar. And you can use this to your advantage. In fact, you should, and the case system does this, because the idea is that every shape that you already know is just a movable version of something else. You may already know this triad shape over here, C minor, but just by moving it 2 frets up, you already have D minor. And you didn't have to learn a new shape. You just had to move that shape 2 frets up. And once you realize this, a lot of things on the guitar start making a whole lot more sense. And things that you already know on the guitar start to become way more useful. But once you realize that it's all just one interconnected system, the next question is, why do some shapes feel completely different depending on where you play them? See, that's where most players stay stuck. But here's the thing, chords, scales, and arpeggios actually shouldn't be thought of as completely different entities, but rather more part of a same structure, just viewed differently. Because a chord is just a selection of specific notes from a scale. So for example, when we're playing C major over here, those are just specific notes that we chose from the C major scale. And if we go to an arpeggio, that's really just a chord played linearly, melodically instead of harmonically. In other words, one note at a time instead of all the notes at the same time. So you take that same C major chord that we just played, instead of playing it all together like I just did, you play it one note at a time. And now you have an arpeggio. And it all comes from the same thing, from the scale, in this case C major. So that C major scale shape will contain chord tones in it. It'll contain arpeggios, it'll contain chords, it'll contain triads, which are really just parts of a chord, or simplified chords. It all stems from the same place and it's all actually connected. So you might be wondering, if everything is connected, why does the fretboard still feel like isolated boxes instead of one big map? You're missing the visual glue that holds it all together. Because the fretboard only makes sense when you see how a shape connects across the different positions on the neck. These cased shapes that we all know, they actually overlap. They're not actually separate boxes, although that's how you should learn it at first. But with time, you'll realize that they're not separate boxes, but actually interconnecting pieces of a bigger puzzle. Because the thing is that the shared notes between those positions actually creates the pathway across the neck. And this is your ticket to connecting the case shapes. Because when you have the C shape over here, this C also overlaps with the C in the A position right here, which in itself overlaps with the C major triad in the G position over here. And again, it has these two C notes that overlap in the E position. And again, the root note overlaps in the D position. And that's why usually the root note is your best way to anchor all of these positions and connect them together. The fact that you're seeing C over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here, and over here, that's what binds all these shapes together and helps you form a roadmap for the fretboard, not just static shapes. And voice leading, which is the idea of moving between the closest notes in the upper register of whatever chord or voicing you're doing. It's actually the key to making any chord progression sound natural, fluid, and musical, no matter how random it may appear. So just to give you a short example, I'm going to try to jump between chords which are actually a tritone apart and try to make them sound musical and fluid. So that right there is the difference between knowing shapes and actually feeling free on your instrument. So if the fretboard has ever felt confusing or overwhelming, it's not your fault. And it's not because it's too complicated, because there is a system to this that you can follow along. But the thing is that most people actually aren't taught this idea of connecting shapes on the fretboard. Most people aren't taught the idea of voice leading or the idea of connecting triads through it and how that can help you connect things on the fretboard and make it all sound way more musical in the process. Because once you start seeing the guitar as one unified system where chords, shapes, arpeggios, scales, triads, everything overlaps, where everything is part of a bigger interconnected web of concepts which relate to each other, it's when you stop guessing on the guitar and you start actually understanding. And if you want actual help with applying this and building real control over the fretboard, I put together a free guide called 3 Steps to Fretboard Mastery. It walks you through exactly how to take these ideas and turn them into something that you can actually use when you play. And I've even included a free backing track for you to practice everything that I talk about in that guide. So if that interests you at all, you can download it in the link in the description down below. And until next time, keep practicing.